Hey, good evening. Welcome to Tuesday Tea Time with Dorina. And I am happy to be back with you tonight. And we are going to talk about emotions tonight. Okay. So, welcome. And we are from Women of Wisdom. We are a nonprofit organization here to empower teen girls and women with practical wisdom and confidence. We are here to bridge that generational gap between the younger and the older generation because we need to pass on vital knowledge to one another and to the next generation. Okay, so I gotta get my tea. Okay, so haven't had that happen in a long time, right? Okay, so I was actually in the process of making myself some iced tea, and I got that from my daughter-in-law, and you just take regular Lipton tea, and so many bags, maybe 4, 5, 6 bags or something like that, and put it in a pot of water and boil it. And once it gets, dark and nice, you just kind of let it sit and cool. And then you put it in a pitcher and put your ice in it, put your sugar in it, and stir it up, and bam, you got iced tea. Okay, so that was my attempt tonight. So I got my iced tea. I got my tea, but it's not iced tea yet. Okay, so that's where we at with that tonight. Okay, all right. So, anywho, I want to welcome all our first time visitors and all those that will be watching the replay. Welcome. Okay, so I like to try to wear my glasses, but it don't always work. Okay, so listen, I have an announcement for you. And so I want to remind you that to sign up for the Perfect You workshop, which is Saturday, August the 13th. And now the early bird tickets are $20, which ends this month. And so the 1st of July will go to the regular ticket price, which is $25. And then August 8th, which is the week prior to the event, will be the door prize, which is $30. Okay. All teen girls ages 12 to 19 is $10. Okay. So if you have uh, more than one teen girl that wants to come, and it's a little bit, expensive for you. Maybe you have 3 daughters that you want to come, and contact me, email me, and we will help you make it happen, okay? Because we want everyone to be there, especially our teen girls, okay? So if you have any concerns or questions, just email me at wow, OMEN of wisdom at gmail.com. So that would be WOWOMENOFWISDOM at gmail.com. So you can email me there if you have any questions about the workshop, or if you have multiple daughters or whatever and you want to come and it's a little bit uh, pinching on your income, just contact me, okay? Because we want you to be there. Okay, so tonight we are talking about emotions as dictators or indicators. Okay. And so I got some information here I want to share with you. And you know, I always like to share the definitions because it just amplifies what we're talking about, gives us a deeper understanding because you know, we need understanding. Okay. I always tell my husband all the time, you know, I gotta understand. Help me to understand. So I have for you the definition. Like I said, most of them that I get them from dictionary.com. So you could go look them up for yourself if you like to check it out. Okay. So it says emotions, any of the feelings of joy, sorrow, fear, hate, love. So it's an effective state of consciousness in which you experience joy, sorrow, fear, stuff like that. Okay, so that's what emotions are. Okay, and we're talking tonight about our emotions being our dictator or indicator. Okay, and so let's look at this before I don't want to jump the gun and get ahead of myself. So indicator is a sign that shows the condition of something, okay? A sign that shows the condition of something. Okay, and dictator, a person exercising absolute power or unrestricted control. Okay, so you can see where we're getting at. We do not want to allow our emotions to be the dictator, where they have absolute power and unrestricted control over our lives. And you know what that means? If they have that much control over us, then they're guiding and dictating what path that we take, what direction we go in. And anytime your emotions have that much control over you, I guarantee you, you will make the wrong decision 100% of the time. Okay. Because being led by your emotions is like being what they call skitter scatter or something like that. You know, you kind of all over the place because your emotions are actually all over the place. One day they up, one day they down. You know, we've talked about that before. So as an indicator, our emotions can express unrestricted control. Okay, I mean, as dictators, as a dictator, our emotions can exercise unrestricted control, but as an indicator, they are signals and measures we can use as information. And that's what we want our emotions to be. We want to use our emotions as uh, indicators and not dictating our lives for us. Okay. Okay. One thing about it is, you know, it's important that we are emotionally aware. We have emotional awareness, and that helps us know what we need, helps us know what we need and want and what we don't want. Okay. So when you are aware of your emotions, you can be more on point. That we could put it like that, or you can be more on top of things, and you're more aware of your feelings, you know. And when you're more aware of your feelings, then you know you're not being mm, deceived. Let's say that. Okay. Okay, because you want to know You want to have awareness in life. Okay. Okay. So emotional awareness helps us know what we need and want or don't want. Okay. So I have a exercise that I think that is really good for to try out. And so um, you can you can pick a feeling. Okay, so remember we said that emotions are more the feelings of joy, sorrow, fear, hate, love, those type of things. That's what your emotions are made of. Okay, so you can pick a feeling and follow it for the day. Okay, jot down how many times you feel joy. I'm just using that as an example. How many times a day you feel joyful, or through the day write down notes where you were, who you were with, and what time of day that you felt that joy, and mark it down, and where you are, what you're doing, and the intents of the emotion. Jot these things down and do a pick and follow your feelings, okay? And that'll help you become more aware of what is happening in your life, what emotions are guiding your life, and it will help us to get our emotions under control. Because you first have to identify what they are. You have to have more information concerning them and understand what's going on in your life. And as you go through the day and start paying attention to your emotions, your feelings, what's causing your feelings, what's your surrounding, what's your environment, why you're feeling that, and what is the intensity of that emotion while all these things are going on around you. That's going to be a good exercise for you. That's going to help you identify some situations in your lives and take control over your emotions and not allow them to dictate to you how you're going to do life. Because if it's up to your emotions, and have you ever thought about this? Do you know that you can feel two emotions at the same time? So you can have fear and anger at the same time. You can have sadness and laughter at the same time. And sometimes, depending on what's going on in your life, when you're not aware of these things, it can become confusing to you. And so that's why you want to be emotional. You want to have emotional awareness, and you want to make sure that you are aware of whether your emotions are dictating or trying to dictate to you how you do life. Your emotions do not have the right to dictate to you how you do life. We control our emotions. Our emotions do not control us. And that's how we need to do life. And that's doing life with wisdom. Okay? And that's what you want, and that's what I want. Okay, this can be so helpful to us, and help us learn which emotion is dictating to us as we travel through life and be aware of these things. Okay, let's see where we at. Okay, so I want you to know this as well. Our feelings come from our deepest desires, our hopes, needs, and goals. If we don't know what we're feeling and why, then we risk leaving crucial needs and longings unmet. Now you think about that for a minute. Our feelings come from our deepest desires, hopes, needs, and goals. And you know what? Sometimes when we feel like we're not reaching those goals, or we don't see that need being met, or we feel hopeless in our situation and stuff like that, if we're not aware of those feelings and why we are feeling those that way, it will cause us to have a longing and a need that's unmet. Okay. And then we will potentially perpetuate a cycle of anger or unhappiness. Okay. And so we don't want to live life like that, because there is no wisdom in that. And it can cause a lot of stress in our lives, along with trauma. And you know what? Sometimes when we ignore those things, we are covering up and deceiving our own selves, and not really dealing with issues like we should. You know how sometimes people would rather sweep things under the carpet, so to speak, but it's still under there. And eventually it still will come back around. And so it's better to be aware of your emotions, and that is the way to not allow your emotions to dictate to you. They can indicate things in life, just like doing the exercise that we was talking about doing. As you do that throughout the day, you can use it as information, use it as a indicator, a sign of something, and that's the beginning of you discovering how your emotions are being used improperly or properly. Are they dictating to you, or are you using them to improve your growth or understanding, gaining information, so that you can be an overcomer in life? So that's what I'm saying. All right. So that's what we have for tonight. And let's see what next week we are. That is not supposed to be on there. Emotional awareness. I don't know if we're going to talk about that or not. We may continue to talk about that. We may not. Okay. So, but you do need to be emotionally aware of your own emotions, gain wisdom out of your emotions. Oh, you know what? There's something else. I got to share this with you, because I thought was so good. And I thought about it too. And I'm like, wow, okay, let me share this with them. And you will recognize this. If you pay attention to yourself, you will recognize it. And it's important that you do pay attention to yourself, so that you can learn more about yourself. Isn't that something? We can deceive ourselves into thinking that we're somebody that we're not. But if we pay more attention to ourselves and more attention to our own emotions and how we feel, where we are, where we're in whatever situation or whatever circumstance we're in, will enlighten us. Because circumstances and situations, through our emotions would dictate to us through our circumstances and our situations, if we let them control us. But we don't have to do that, okay? You can have control over your emotions, but you first have to become aware of your emotions and which ones are trying to control you. in certain situations. So you need that emotional awareness. Okay. So did you know that anger is often felt between the chest and the head? So remember we was talking about body language? Man, you know what? Your body can teach you a lot about yourself if you pay attention to it. And did you know this? That fear is usually felt between the stomach and the chest. Now, that one, a lot of people can relate to because, a lot of times we get those butterfly, we call them, butterflies in our stomach when we get nervous, about before we, you know, stand up in front of people or start a new job, or something we're unfamiliar with, we kind of get nervous about, and we start feeling that feeling. We call them butterflies in our stomach. That's what that is. Our body can indicate to us our feelings and what we're dealing with. Isn't that interesting? That's something that you uh, can apply to your life and start recognizing what's going on with you, because it's important that you know, and don't let your emotions dictate to you, because they'll have you confused. They'll have perplexity. You'll be living in perplexity. Same thing as confused, but you know what I'm saying. Just your emotions can be all over the place and cause so much stress and confusion if we allow them, and if we stay unaware of our emotions, then they will rule and they will reign over us, and there we will lose wisdom, and life would just be a ball of confusion. That's truth. Okay. All right. So our bodies can tell us about ourselves through our emotions. So start paying attention to this kind of stuff. Start paying attention to what's going on inside of you when you are in certain areas, certain around certain people. How do your emotions feel when you're around certain people? And these can be indicators, and sometimes it'll let you know you need to leave now. So pay attention to that kind of stuff. All right. All right. So that's what I have for you tonight for Tuesday Tea Time with Dorina. I'm so thankful that you joined me tonight. And again, I want to remind you that to sign up for the Perfect You workshop, which is Saturday, August the 13th. Now the early bird tickets are still $20. Uh, it's till the end of this month, and the 1st of July, they will go to the regular ticket price, which is $25. And on the week prior to the event, it would be $30. And you can still pay that online, or you can pay it at the door. Okay. $10 for teen girls, the ages 12 to 19. If you have more than one or two teen girls, or if you have more than two teen girls, you can email us at WOWOMENOFWISDOM if you need financial assistance, okay? Because we would love to see you there. All right. Well, as I always say, I love you, and remember to always walk in wisdom. All right. Good night. Have a good night.